any problems, I'll try and get stuff correct. Okay, so in the top corner is going to be a Zerg player, a Master Zerg player called SNSDYoona. Ooh.
And then in the bottom left we have Acefiend, our blue Protoss player, spawning on Daybreak. I don't know that. Oh, go ahead, Ren.
I don't know. From what we've seen, we don't know much about these two players. I've seen SNSDYoona play a couple times, but other than that, it's not very knowledgeable. It looks like he's going for hopefully a Forge Fast Expand, because I have no idea.
Daybreak's pretty, if I remember correctly, Daybreak's pretty Zerg favored. Or was that Cloud Kingdom? I know one of these maps was very Zerg favored, and one of these maps was very Protoss favored.
Cloud Kingdom is very Protoss favored.
Alright, so this is the Zerg favored map, because I think they can get the easy fast third, and Protoss has the 2 paths they need to defend, and then they have to bounce back and forth between their natural and the third with the destructible debris. And then especially now in Heart of the Swarm with mutas can come in from one angle and kill off the probes in the main. And having split up the army between the third and the main, that's a pretty long distance right there. Acefiend, he's scouting around, he sees the pool first. So there's
a 14 pool, I think.
I didn't actually see the supply, but there's that. So the Zerg isn't going to be any source of greedy, which means the Protoss is probably gonna
that block. You needed to work better on the block for the hatching. Oh, and he's going for Forge and a gateway. This
Forge gateway
sort of weird. Oh, is he walling off completely?
It looks like he, based on this sort of complete wall off.
Okay,
there's a spot for the probe. But Forge first, then gateway. It's going to be very defensive. He's not playing greedy. Neither players are playing particularly greedy right here. So we should be seeing pretty standard macro game. We'll see if SNSDYoona sends his drone to the third. That'll be taken around 21 supply to 25 supply is when Zergs will go for that quick third versus Forge Fast Expand.
There is a probe here, so if he does put the third down, he'll notice.
There will be some sort
for a double gas on the main. After he doesn't have his Nexus down yet, which is kind of odd for a Forge Fast Expand.
And I don't know anything about Protoss timings, so you're gonna have to explain what's the importance of the fast double gas right there. What sort of build should he be going for?
He tries to cannon rush it. It doesn't really work out. The 2 lings clean that up, and he cancels the pylon. His natural is up fairly. He's not taking any gas. He went 3 hatch before gas, so there's not going to be any speed up anytime soon.
Yeah, Zergs will usually get to about 44 supply. They get blocked at 44 on purpose, and then they drop their 2 gases at the natural, or they'll drop 3 gases all at once, and that's at about 6 minutes. Is kind of standard Zerg timing.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry for crying. He doesn't have his expansion up yet, so.
And he still doesn't have that, so.
Yeah. He's going
there it drops right now. Yoona scouts it going down, so he knows it's not going to be some sort of fake expansion and then an all-in.
It is pretty late though. He has 3 hatches down before he got his.
That's actually extremely late.
Yeah.
But then with the faster gases, that could be some sort of early pressure.
Looks like he
got
his gas though.
So. There's 1 gas going for the speed. He has 8 lings out. A bit of lings, just gonna scout around. I think he's a bit worried because that expansion was so late from the Protoss player. He's looking around for pressure. And he's gonna see. He's actually not gonna. He just barely saw the 2 zealots moving out from the main base. His Zergling isn't on the watchtower, actually. And so Acefiend has 2 zealots moving out with the mothership core to try and put some pressure on. Yoona
look like it's going to get behind
does know that's coming.
Yeah.
Yep. He has the 2 queens there at his third.
Oh,
2
and he
queens should be able
threw in
to.
a Stargate. Threw in a Stargate and 2 gates. He needs to start making probes though and getting them to his natural. He's pretty behind in workers actually. He's 36 drones, 28 workers.
Needs to micro this queen back, dance it around, and then the full health queen should be able to.
Is it gonna go down?
That's gonna go down. But the mothership core, I don't.
And it
know,
recalls,
it recalls itself out of there.
That recall, that was so close. Oh, it looks like he's finally getting speed down.
We have
Okay.
+1 air weapons on the
weapons.
way, so it looks like we might be going for some sort of sky toss build, maybe, or an all-in. We have the 3 gateways and
He's making 1 void ray.
void rays on the way with +1 air.
Yeah.
So that kind of signifies some sort of lake. Oh, he actually has the fleet beacon. I
Oh.
don't. So fleet beacon, that
Is he doing it
means
Tempest?
access to Tempest or carriers, I
Yeah.
believe. Or he could just going for a quick. He could rush mothership. Like this is kind of out there, but he could rush mothership and just walk into the third with all of his cloaked units.
Yeah, either that or you might get. I don't know why you'd go Phoenix. Like mutas usually are in PvZ now, but like it's a bit early to tell since there's no.
And he hasn't really scouted. So
Yeah.
Yuna does see the void ray.
There's a layer.
I don't
now.
think he saw.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Fleet beacon. Did you see the fleet?
Oh, he
beacon?
did see the fleet. He saw the fleet beacon, but he might not have clicked on it.
Yeah.
Looks like we have the graviton catapult being researched, so this is going to be carriers as long as as well as another Stargate. So he is going for some sort of 2-base Stargate. The issue with this right now, though, is it's almost 10 minutes into the game, and Yuna is on 3-base saturation. 60 workers. It would be nice to see him get up to that 70 to 80 mark, but I think, like I mentioned earlier, he could be a bit worried for the void race or some sort of all-in or pressure, because a 2-base carrier build is definitely unique and something that
Oh, and here's
whole
some
lot
names
of-
trying to get into the main. Doesn't eventually get it. I don't know if this is I think this is a full wall off.
yeah, I believe it is with the 2 cannons there. He dropped the 2nd cannon in place of the area for the probe.
He's making a carrier.
And he's actually getting +2
Yeah.
air
It's the
weapons.
This seems to
And
be some
Yuna-
sort of carrier rush.
Yeah.
To this
Yuna's
carrier
going into Locusts, so we're going to see Swarm Host for Sky Toss, which is really interesting. Well, actually, the Hydra Den is there and it's researching, so we're going to see Hydra, a Locust, probably Siege on the natural.
Trying
I
to-
don't know if Acefiend has any intentions of expanding. He is supply blocked pretty consistently, but he has 4 pylons.
The thing is that I don't know how we'd get out of his main to
Mhm.
to make an expansion. So I don't know. Carriers take ages to build. Oh,
What's the build time on that? A minute, 120 seconds.
2 minutes.
It's going up to
3
another
Stargates.
Stargate. 3 Stargates.
Looks like he's building 14 Hydras at the moment. So this will hopefully deal with the current the current Stargate units. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, Yuna hasn't been doing a whole lot of scouting. He saw the mothership, the fleet beacon,
Yeah, you only
and
seen
he
the
doesn't know.
the fleet beacon, but that was only building, so I don't know if he's seen
He doesn't know what's being produced.
Yeah.
Sees the void ray with +1, so he might
results.
might realize the Hydralisks do have the movement speed, so they'll be able to clean up that void ray pretty well.
Is he gonna go into +3 air weapons? He has a lot.
Yeah, he stopped the
gas.
upgrades right now, but
Yeah.
I think carriers are pretty expensive, so he might not. He might be kind of missing the income
Here's
needs.
the Hydra Swarm.
Some pressure on. Yep, some pressure on the 3rd base going on as well, trying to snipe that hatchery, but it's not going to do enough. He doesn't have any upgrades on these zealots. The queen can, and he's not even microing them, so the queen can just take care of those.
Locusts do really good against Zealots and Stalkers, actually. It's only
Locust
seems to be Archons and Colossus that deal with... Oh, and he gets into the main. Well, not into the main, but
there's a hole in the wall. Yoona doesn't know there's carriers just yet, but he's kind of breaking down the front wall. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that there's no third. He doesn't care that nothing is out there. Looks like carriers have been revealed. And I'd like to see him snipe this base.
Yeah.
If he can snipe the base and then move.
Seems he's still doing a robo to get an observer.
Colossus.
I call this R an observer to see the swarm house. Because there's quite a few swarm houses. 13 swarm houses.
With him sniping the natural though, Acefiend is not going to have enough production to remotely support carriers.
Yeah.
And these swarm hosts could have... Oh, the Oracle actually detecting, that was a really good play. That's something pretty unique that not a whole lot of Protosses realize.
Is that
the Oracle can detect.
I'm sorry if I'm a bit too quiet, by the way. It's really late here. I shouldn't be casting this time, but I have to do it. It looks like these carriers are going to take out the only anti-air that the Zerg has at the moment. But he is building 13 more Hydras.
Yeah, he's reached a pretty, maybe not a critical amount of carriers, but carriers are pretty good units if you max them up.
But the thing is, if he moves these swarm hosts, they're just going to get ripped to shreds by the interceptors coming from the carriers.
If Yoona took the time to reach a 200 supply army, and maybe got some infestors, he'd be able to fungal the carriers and then just use the Hydras to burn them down almost instantly.
Seems like there's an observer, so I think all these swarm hosts might get cleaned up right now.
He's almost able to snipe one Colossus.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like that.
And he gets the detection, but he doesn't get the observer. Yeah. One carrier goes down, and he snipes the other. So at this point, Acefiend, he doesn't have the income from his natural. His main is starting to mine out, and he's producing 2 carriers at a time. But he has to produce the carriers, and then he has to produce the interceptors. The interceptors take a while to build. Yeah. The swarm hosts get cleaned up, but that's not a big deal because the swarm hosts did their job. They took out the natural, and they got rid of the natural income. And carriers chasing down the swarm hosts. They're going to get out of there. 4 carriers now will be moving.
Looks like he's upgrading plus 2. Yeah. Plus 2 for Hydras. And it looks like he's getting a Spire.
He might be wanting to switch to some Corruptors to tank some of the damage, to get corruption on everything. Yoona has taken a 4th behind that push, and Acefiend is trying to take his 3rd.
The Spore Crawler does take out the Observer, so if there's any ground units coming out from Acefiend, they're going to get probably taken out by the Swarm Hosts.
The Spore Crawler was transfused, so that the DPS from that is actually really helping out.
All the anti-air
the Zerglings in Acefiend's base are actually killing all of his workers. Wow. So even if he takes out the 3rd, which he's going to do, 3rd goes down, but the Zerglings in the main base are going to...
It looks like...
Yeah, the Zerglings in the main base take out the Nexus.
Yeah.
So Acefiend has no production. He's 59 supply. He needs to be making... the main base goes down. Acefiend pretty much has this game lost unless he can do some crazy carrier micro. And he might even lose the 3rd because Yoona has scouted that because of the Overlord.
He's making 2 Corruptors right now. Hopefully he makes more than that. It's only 2 Corruptors, don't know if they'll be able to deal with all the...
he is lacking on gas. He doesn't have 3 gas at his 4th, and because his 3rd was killed,
oh no, the Overlords! At least it's not going to supply block him. It seems that the... Oh, will the Vargas hold us off? Yeah, he holds his 3rd. He's
we go to
building
units though. It's 11 probes to 61 drones. So Acefiend has to win the game with this army here.
He is building 2 more carriers right now. He used the last of his gas to make 2 more carriers.
Yes, win the army with 3 carriers. 2 void rays and the 2 carriers that are making, because he doesn't have a main, doesn't have a natural, and all he has is his third, which is pretty damaged. The carriers are actually moving into the main of Yuna. The Sport Crawler doing a lot of work, just killing a bunch of interceptors off. And the Corruptors will engage this, I don't know.
Oh,
and the Hydras are actually at the third.
Yeah, uses corruption on the carriers to take them down faster with the bonus damage.
So it looks like we're going to be in some sort of awkward base race with 2 carriers, and the Hydra's actually coming home to help defend this.
Yeah.
So looks like Yuna has this game pretty in the
Takes
bag.
out the Spire. No more Corruptors for you, Yuna. He's building 2 Spore Crawlers, 3 Spore Crawlers.
Sport Crawlers, yep.
Use corruption again on them with the 20% bonus damage. Oh, he's down to his last Corruptor. Oh, not Corruptor, carriers. There's 2 more carriers here coming on the
And
map,
this is
so
game over.
This is game over. He doesn't have the economy. He has. Oh, he has no more minerals left actually. He used his
trying
spots
to
to build his.
Remake,
Yeah.
but Circling's in the main. It's game over. Acefiend is trying to eke out a victory with a Void Ray and a carrier. 2 carriers going through the middle of the map, but versus all these Hydras with +2 and all these Corruptors with corruption, I don't think he has a chance.
Yeah. Seems like the last carrier is going to go down.
That was
And
a-
GG is called.
Pretty
Okay,
one-sided game 1.
Yeah.